something that we think a lot about too when we're building tech is, okay, for features you can go deep, right? So for you, maybe it's okay when I'm actually calculating qualification. Okay, now I'm going to add land transfer tax, and now I'm going to add whatever the stress test, and I'm going to do these different things that are relevant and just make it a more sophisticated calculation. Or you can go wide, right? Where you can say, okay, well, now I'm going to add, I don't know, a report generation, right? Or something like that. How do you kind of, I guess, prioritize those, or how do you think about those things, I guess, now versus then in both scenarios? Like, do you prefer to go deep versus, you were kind of saying as an engineer, you like to go deep and get, to the
Mhm.
fraction correct. And that's more of what I tend to, but I think there's also value in going wide because maybe you can go and capture different audiences. So I'm just curious if you have kind of a philosophy as it relates to that.
Oh, so I guess at the early stages, I was just going wherever it was taking me. I wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
deep,
yeah,
wide. So like, oh, I got new
yeah,
information, let's put it in. It was
yeah,
kind of like that. Nowadays, because each tool or each feature we have is deep and wide, if we want to
mm,
introduce something new, we have to sort of keep up with the standards. Like if we introduce a new tool and it doesn't have a
right.
report, it's like, oh, we got a bunch of people saying, hey, I want to generate a report now. And it's like, okay, then we have to have the report. So it's just getting larger and larger and more integrations now, translation, more languages. So each
Yeah.
tool is just taking us longer and longer to build.
There's actually a lot of cost. You make a new feature and you go maybe wide and you get it out and you maybe capture these new people. You're not real. There's a ton of those downstream effects you don't even realize. It's like, hey, in 5, I launched this new user type thinking, what the heck? But now 5 years from now, I'm still paying that price, right? I think
Oh,
there's
yeah,
another concept where it's
that's
like
true.
every feature you make, when you launch it, even if you ignore all the dev costs and everything like that, just from like a support perspective, it starts negative, right?
Yeah.
And from a DevOps, from a
100%.
all the things. And it's only like when you get a ton of use that it actually starts to get into that positive territory. It's not just start throwing features at a wall at the sure way to, create a lot of pain for you, right?
It's
Sounds like
actually,
you're feeling that too.
it's actually interesting because I would say maybe 80% of the functionality is not being used by the app.
Right.
Like people, I guess 80% use 20% of all the features.
Yeah.
But so the question is, why do we go and develop all the other cool stuff?
Yeah.
And the answer
Yeah.
is like very simple. We have professional users
Yeah.
who go deep, so
Yeah. Yeah.
deep, and they market the app to the other 80%. They
Right.
tell
Right.
their friends about it,
They're the thought leaders. Right.
and they
Yeah.
help us. I mean, I talk to agents from every bank.
Mm.
I have a contact, not from a head office perspective, but individual agents who are part of RBC or part of CIBC, and they always come in and we have this discussion with them on,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
which way, which it's pretty cool.
No, very cool. And I was gonna say it's almost maybe a little bit like a VC, right? In the sense of you're making bets. And you actually don't know when you create the feature, you actually don't know which one is maybe the biggest usage. And yeah, you're gonna maybe you have 8 misses, but you just have one that just takes off, and
I know.
that pays for the other 8 that were misses too, right? So it's
Sometimes
interesting. Yeah.
sometimes even the most basic feature is like the biggest hit, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like
That's what you get
really,
excited about?
that we could have done
But
this
look
like
over here. I spent 3 months on this other thing. Like, come on.
Yeah.
yeah.
We get that. Yeah.